Okay. Okay. Is it flipped?
Okay. If I stop to kick every barking dog, then I am not going to get where I'm going. This is what Florence Griffith Joyner said, according to biography.com, accessed, written on March the 6th of 2024. Today we will see how Florence Griffith Joyner is remembered as giving 110% by looking at her history, reviewing her career, and hearing about her many business ventures that helped her to become one of the most famed and influential Olympians of our time. So first, we look at how at a very early age, her destiny was just beginning. So her mother was a seamstress that made doll clothes. She made clothes, and she taught Florence how to make clothes, so that Florence decided she would start making doll clothes, and that's how she started to love fashion. Her dad and her used to chase jackrabbits in the desert, and that's how she became really fast. So that was at 7 years old, according to learnbiography.com, accessed on June the 8th of 2024. So that was all real good until they divorced at age 7. So then she had to start becoming tough because she was number 7 out of 11 siblings, and they lived in the project housing of LA with only their mother. So this was according to womensrunning.com. On February 28th of 2023 was when that was written. So at 14 was when they started noticing her speed, when she first competed in the Jesse Owens National Youth Games. Then at Jordan High School, she persuaded the track team to change their style. And so they started wearing tights under their track uniform because she wanted to be different. So that was according to famousafricanamericans.org. That was accessed on June the 8th of 2024. So she went to college at Cal State, but then she couldn't afford to go there anymore because she had financial trouble, and then she had to drop out and go work as a bank teller, to help out her family. So, and I'm sure this is where she thought that was the end of her career. And her career was over at this point until a coach who saw her potential decided to, put some stock in her and kind of give her a chance. So this is what we're going to find out in the next section. So according to famousafricanamericans.org, accessed on June 8th of 2024, Bob Kersey, who was just hired at UCLA to be a coach there, he helped her secure financial aid because he saw her potential. And then, so he helped her get on over there. But what she didn't know at the time was he would eventually be her brother-in-law, because he would marry Jackie Joyner Kersey, which a lot of you know is also a famous runner. And she married Al Joyner, and so that's how they all became family. So she became a NCAA champion, and she ran for UCLA. And she did became a champion of the 200 meter with a 200 meter victory. And then she graduated with a degree in psychology in 1983. So that's according to biography.com on March the 6th, 2024. So in the 1984 Olympics, she did win the silver medal for the 200 meter dash, and that's where she became known for her style. So everybody just knew her for her long flowing hair and her 6-inch fingernails. Everybody was like, okay, well, she's cool, but she's got this crazy style. So after that, she went into semi-retirement, but she couldn't afford to just train. So she worked as a bank teller, she trained, and she did hair and nails at night, so that she could get everything done and still afford to live and pay her bills. So then when she was training for the 1988 Olympics, during trials is when she broke the world record for the 100 meter dash with a time of 10.49 seconds. And then in the 1988 Olympic Games, she also broke the world record for the 200 meter run with a time of 21.34 seconds. She went on to win gold medals in the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 4x100 meter, all those races, and also a silver in the 4x400 meter relay. So people were really skeptical because they were like, well, nobody can really win all these medals in the same thing. So they thought she was on drugs. They thought she was on steroids, so they kept, making all these comments. So she wound up taking 11 drug tests within that year, 1988, and she passed all 11 drug tests. So she didn't have any drugs in her system. So that year, according to famousafricanamericans.org, access June 8th of 24, she was named Athlete of the Year, and she also received the Sullivan Award for Amateur Athlete. And then in 1993, Bill Clinton made her co-chair of the President's Council of Physical Fitness. In 95, she was inducted into the Track and Field Hall of Fame. That was as stated by learnbiography.com, accessed June 8th of 24. But she didn't just wow us with her speed. She also had many other hobbies and business ventures. So she pursued acting. She acted in several sitcoms. One of them was Santa Barbara. She was a fashion designer. She had clothing lines, 2 of which were actually in Japan. She was an artist. She wrote children's books. She wrote romance novels and poetry. She then started a foundation for inner city children because she grew up poor, so she wanted to give back to the other kids and help them out. And she didn't want kids to grow up with bad influences, so she wanted to try to be a good influence for children. That was called FloJo International. That's according to womensrunning.com. That was written 2/28 of 23. She was most well known, according to them, for setting records that still stand today, and doing so in style. So especially known for her 6-inch acrylic nails, long flowing hair, one-legged tracksuits, lace detailing, and color block bikini bottoms. So FloJo even had a Barbie designed after her with the one-legged tracksuit. Sadly, though, in 1998, she died of an epileptic seizure due to a genetic condition called cavernous hemangioma. She left behind a daughter, Mary, who now has a foundation of her own, who works to honor her mother's legacy. That's according to WonderWomanProject.com, accessed on 6/8 of 24. Since her death, she's had an elementary school named after her, and she's also been named in 2020 one of the most influential women in America. So today we have seen how Florence Griffith Joyner is remembered as given 110% by looking at her history. We reviewed her career, and we've also looked at all her many different contributions and business ventures that she's taken part in to become one of the most influential Olympians, of our time. So one quote I want to leave you with is that she said, "Conventional is not for me. I like things that are uniquely flow."
Do we clap? Clap.
Good job.